respectfully towards senior brothers and senior sisters in daily life, you jade heart. When she heard someone being disrespectful towards Hua Azure-Cloud, she won't lend a hand to offend even her senior brother. Hua Azure-Cloud didn't expect that Profound Een would discover the formation flag that even she hadn't noticed. It turns out that Profound Een was out absorbing the essence of heaven and earth at night, and encountered someone burying the formation flag here. So he asked if Profound Een still remembered what that person looked like. Afterward, Profound Een had a thought. Zhao Rui's appearance then appeared. Hua Azure-Cloud's guess was indeed correct. It really is this Zhao Rui. Unfortunately, the difficulty of pulling out the formation flag without being discovered by the other party is really too high. Although he cannot find the location of all formation flags. But if Zhao Rui dares to trigger the formation, the sword chi arranged by Hua Azure-Cloud can be tracked down. Instantly destroy the formation. This way, he can easily defeat his conspiracy. At this time, Profound Een quickly stepped forward to claim credit. She plans to go on stage to battle with Hua Azure-Cloud tomorrow. It's not that Hua Azure-Cloud doesn't want her to go. It's within the rules of the sect. She is unable to participate. This has angered Profound Een. So Profound Een yanked out the spiritual talisman from Hua Azure-Cloud's long sleeve. Since the spiritual talisman can be used, then one can also enter the field. Hua Azure-Cloud's eyes brightened immediately. She also fully agreed with Profound En's words. Things like the spiritual talisman formation are all possible. So, using the spiritual beast I cultivated to join the battle should also not be a problem. She thought that she could finally take the stage. Unfortunately, the next second, she was struck by lightning. Simply because Hua Azure-Cloud plans to forfeit tomorrow. The next morning, the qualified disciples all arrived. But when the judge elder inspected the competing disciples, he found that Hua Azure-Cloud had not yet taken the field. A hall master was very angry upon learning this. Hua Azure-Cloud, this brat, dared to treat such an important competition as child's play. Beloved master also looked embarrassed. No wonder this disciple has a habit. He always sleeps until the 9th hour no matter when. He must be stuck in the cave dwelling now, and unable to make it. The hall master and others were shocked when they heard this. If it really can't be done, it's better to just declare him forfeit. But thinking of sect leaders' plan yesterday, if Hua Azure-Cloud is declared forfeit, wouldn't their plan go to waste? So Serene Sword asked Ancient Feather to send someone as soon as possible. Call Hua Azure-Cloud to participate from the cave. Unexpectedly, the sect leader actually had tens of thousands of disciples, and several hall masters and elders at the scene deliberately delaying the competition for the habit of a lying-flat disciple. This has also caused strong dissatisfaction among the disciples. At this time, Yu Jadeheart, who is proud as the #1 in the sect, stood up. She expressed that the path of cultivation, everyone has their own obsession and their own way. When some people cultivate, they may silently recite scriptures or contemplate the heavens and the earth in a special posture. Senior brother Hua also has his own path. We should naturally understand and be inclusive. If all 11 disciples on stage agree to wait for senior brother Hua, she hopes everyone can wait a little longer as well. And the 11 geniuses present at the scene feel that waiting a little longer is also acceptable. Everyone agreed to Junior Sister Yu's request one after another. Yu Jadeheart is also very grateful for this. But only one person opposed. Just a mere waste of space at the Spirit Palace Stage 8 layer. Someone who got here by luck. Why should everyone wait for him? And this person is Wang Dao, ranked 12th on the Heavenly Pride list. Yu Jadeheart did not get angry right away. She just hoped that he would give senior brother Hua a chance. Wang Dao, who does not know good from bad, looked disdainful. With him being a waste, he would be eliminated as soon as he arrived. There was no need to wait for him at all. Before anyone could react, he was pushed back several meters by Yu Jadeheart with just one palm strike. Senior brother Wang, don't refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit cup. Are you still willing to wait for senior brother Hua now? The story of the useless senior brother and the aloof junior sister that must be told. It unexpectedly appeared at the sect's grand competition. This move also brought Hua Azure-Cloud a wave of young fangirls. Indeed, the novels by beloved master are truly popular. Wang Dao, threatened by Yu Jade Heart, quickly stepped back. He then awkwardly expressed that it was actually okay to wait a little longer. In that case, please wait for a moment, everyone. 1 hour later, Hua Azure-Cloud arrived late. At this moment, he looked confused. When he arrived at the arena for the competition, he found that the sect disciple was staring at him with a hostile look on his face. Hua Azure-Cloud quickly apologized upon seeing the situation. Sorry for delaying everyone's game. I'm really sorry. Accustomed to working 9 to 5 on normal days, the competition time this time was moved up. Only forgot to set the alarm clock caused the tardiness. Didn't expect the sect leader didn't cancel their eligibility to compete. They even made everyone wait for an hour. It's really embarrassing. At this moment, Hua Azure-Cloud noticed that the female disciples below were all staring at him with infatuated expressions. What's going on again? Could it be because I'm too handsome that I've caught the attention of the female disciples? Little do you know, everyone is discussing his Taoist partnership with Yu Jade Heart. I never expected that the aloof sword maniac senior sister you would actually seek a Taoist partner, let alone one who is considered useless and at the bottom. Rumors have it that the two of them are worried about being separated by the various hall masters, so they can only secretly carry on their underground romance. And isn't this just like the plot of the story with that aloof senior sister that I have to mention? Some people have heard that Yu Jade Heart is financially supporting Hua Azure-Cloud. And this plot of senior sister falling in love with me is the same. Sure enough, this type of novel is deeply loved by girls wherever it is. The next step is the drawing lot segment. And Hua Azure-Cloud also noticed that there was something amiss with the drawing lots token that sect leader had manipulated. Unfortunately, he ended up drawing the first match. His opponent turned out to be Wang Dao, who was displeased with him for being late earlier. To everyone's surprise, Hua Azure-Cloud, as soon as he stepped onto the stage, initiated a surrender, but was promptly rejected on the spot by Serene Sword, stating that surrender was not an option in the upcoming battle. He wants to demonstrate the splendor of his Azure-Cloud Sword Sect in battle. He is determined not to admit defeat until the very last moment of the fight. When Hua Azure-Cloud heard this, he was stunned. Isn't this rule specifically tailored for him? In that case, he could only grit his teeth and go ahead with it. Only to see Hua Azure-Cloud once again perform the same talisman formation with the familiar recipe. Wang Dao saw the situation and quickly used the nebula sword art. He interrupted the casting of Hua Azure-Cloud. It is truly worthy of a disciple who made it into the top 12 to have actually seen through the flaw in his talisman formation. Not only that, he also took advantage of the opening to flash behind and launch an attack. Hua Azure-Cloud, seeing this, took out the prepared 100-flame-long talisman to deal with it. On the other hand, Wang Dao took out the water talisman for defense. He then wielded his long sword and launched an attack on Hua Azure-Cloud. Thought that the sword chi had successfully cut down Hua Azure-Cloud. Unexpectedly, it turns out that what he had just cut down was actually a smoke and dust substitute. He dispersed the smoke and dust with a wave of his sword. Hua Azure-Cloud stood blankly in place at this moment. He watched as Wang Dao once again came charging towards him. This time, he did not counterattack or defend at all. He even had a happy expression on his face. Now he could finally rest. Who knew that the profound ing token at his waist suddenly began to buzz loudly. The next second, it actually bounced off Wang Dao's attack. Hua Azure-Cloud also looked confused. What's going on? At this moment, Wang Dao was completely motionless. Could it be that Hua Azure-Cloud has some secret weapon? Here she comes, the cute and adorable little girl. Finally, she has made her debut as expected. Don't be fooled by her innocent appearance. But she is a mischievous and playful little rascal. She easily defeated Hua Azure-Cloud's opponent and knocked them to the ground. Just now, Hua Azure-Cloud gave up resistance and intended to take advantage of the opportunity to be defeated. Who knew that Wang Dao was actually trapped in place by a mysterious force? Hua Azure-Cloud was the first to discover that it was actually profound in causing mischief. But he couldn't figure out when this little guy, Profound followed along. At that moment, Hua Azure-Cloud discovered on his body a wooden token from a 1,000-year-old locust tree, and on the token was inscribed the name of Profound. It is said that Profound, this type of divine beast, belongs to the realm of Yin spirit. It can be housed in ancient trees to nourish its soul. This wooden token was left by Profound when it secretly placed it while Hua Azure-Cloud was asleep. Wang Dao is also suffering immensely from this sinister wind. When the sinister wind strikes, it quickly dissipates in an instant. What exactly is going on? At this moment, Wang Dao looks furious. He questions Hua Azure-Cloud about what trick he is playing again. Hua Azure-Cloud hurriedly denied, saying that all of this has nothing to do with him. When facing Dancing Moon and the other two, Profound was able to easily subdue them all. Its divine beast's power may be enough to crush cultivators below the Violet Mansion Stage 5 layer. Watching Wang Dao being beaten up on the ground. Helpless, Hua Azure-Cloud had to order Profound to stop. But it seems like Profound hasn't had enough fun yet. Just like that, 2.5 minutes later, Wang Dao was brutally defeated by Profound on the ground. At this moment, Wang Dao looked lifeless and despondent. In the end, he had no choice but to surrender. Hua Azure-Cloud also sees the troublemaker Profound at this moment, just about to give this little troublemaker a lesson. Profound unexpectedly started to feel wrong first. At this moment, Hua Azure-Cloud felt like his head exploded. How could he have brought such a troublemaker home? At this moment, Wang Dao also realized that Hua Azure-Cloud had actually brought a spiritual beast to the scene. This is clearly a 2-against-1 situation. The disciples below are also discussing animatedly. How can Hua Azure-Cloud have so many tricks up his sleeve? The elder who had a grudge against Hua Azure-Cloud earlier seriously suspected him of being a spy for the demonic sect. This is mainly because Hua Azure-Cloud has never drawn his sword from beginning to end, and within the sect, he has never taught the ways of talisman Dao and beast control. Beloved Master has always stood by Hua Azure-Cloud's side and has never doubted him. Serene Sword intentionally arranged for Wang Dao to duel with Hua Azure-Cloud in order to test Wang Dao. Through the talisman formation used by Hua Azure-Cloud, he hoped to see if Hua Azure-Cloud had any connection to the demonic sect. However, unexpectedly, Hua Azure-Cloud won the battle with the help of a spiritual beast. Serene Sword also discovered that the spiritual beast of Hua Azure-Cloud is actually the rumored divine beast Profound, a rare divine beast. If Hua Azure-Cloud is a disciple of the demonic sect, it would be quite extravagant to have such a rare divine beast. The other two elders also agreed with what Serene Sword said. Moreover, according to the rules of the competition, if the spiritual beast is tamed by oneself, it naturally counts as a form of combat power, so it cannot be considered a violation of the rules. In this battle, Hua Azure-Cloud effortlessly achieved victory. The enraged Wang Dao did not forget to make threatening remarks. But before he could finish speaking, a single glance from Profound made him scared and run away immediately. Hua Azure-Cloud was also extremely puzzled. What on earth is the sect leader up to? This doesn't even count as breaking the rules. At the same time, just as the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect is in full swing, preparing for the grand competition within the sect, dozens of demonic sect cultivators at the Violet Mansion Stage, 8th layer, are gathering in the ruins not far from the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect in Qingyun City. And the leader is the Blood-Sea True Lord at the 4th layer of the Immortal Ascension Stage. He is the strongest set skilled king in the sect. He advanced to the finals by passing through all obstacles and opponents with just one sword strike. He intended to deliberately lose by exposing a weakness in the upcoming final battle. Little did he know that the visitor was none other than Jiangdu, a devoted fan of Hua Azure-Cloud from a year ago. Just now, Blessed True Lord made an appearance. They are now embedded in the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect as the backup. The heaven-shrouding and spirit-avoiding formation has been set up. He is just waiting for the great formation to be activated so that he can easily destroy it. In order to capture Azure-Cloud Sect Blessed True Lord, he has specially invited 2 helpers. They are Demonic Cloud Sect leader Baxiang and Profound Yin Sect leader Li Wuya, the 3 major Demon Sect leaders who have come out in full force. It seems like Azure-Cloud Sword Sect is in danger. At the same time, going through a series of competitions, the final top 6 has finally emerged. They are respectively Mirror Veil Hall's Chief Yu J. Hart, Brightmind Hall's Chief Zhao Tianlu, Cloud Floating Hall's direct disciple Zhao Rui, Chief Wang Lan of Wind Spirit Hall, as well as Jiangdu and Hua Azure-Cloud from Cloud Floating Hall. Everyone did not expect that Hua Azure-Cloud didn't even unsheath his sword and yet managed to advance all the way to the finals. It's truly beyond expectations. And in this final trial of the Sect Grand Competition, the ultimate winner will be decided in the Scroll of Universe and Land. This scroll is said to be a treasure left by the ancestor of the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect when it was founded. This spiritual treasure contains not only the mountains and rivers of the world, but also countless precious materials. It is a unique mystic domain of the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. In order to make the competition more interesting, in this the Scroll of Universe and Land, Serene Sword will expand a layer of domain to confine the battle within an area called the Peach Blossom Land. The domain range will shrink every other hour. Failure will be declared if one does not reach the Peach Blossom Land before it contracts. If he escapes without fighting, it will only arouse more suspicion, so he can only continue with the performance. When the 6 people enter the Scroll of Universe and Land, Serene Sword then transmitted their movements to the sky. And this picture is even more exquisite, just like a fairyland in legends. Serene Sword chose to hold the finals in the picture in order to better observe the movements of the spies. Furthermore, the Scroll of Universe and Land is closely linked to Serene Sword. With just a single thought, one can control anything inside the Scroll of Universe and Land. No matter how powerful the spies may be, they cannot escape his control. Next, everyone just needs to quietly wait for the spies to reveal themselves. And the other 2 spies hidden within this sect are currently discussing countermeasures. But Zhao Rui had already anticipated this situation and made arrangements in advance. At the same time, Hua Azure-Cloud was also amazed by the beautiful scenery in the Peach Blossom Land depicted in the picture. Such a beautiful Peach Blossom Land. If this were in a previous life, it would definitely become a popular tourist spot for taking photos. The moment that unfolded in the Scroll of Universe and Land. Previously, Hua Azure-Cloud saw the general location of the Peach Blossom Land. Now, he just needs to head towards the center of the Peach Blossom Land. It's fine to wait there for the others in advance. At that time, he can deliberately lose by selling a flaw casually. Then, he can successfully complete the mission. Who knows, the Golden Sword Chi suddenly attacks towards Hua Azure-Cloud. Fortunately, he dodged in time and avoided the attack. Hua Azure-Cloud was stunned. Who is disturbing others appreciating the beautiful scenery of the Peach Blossom Spring? The visitor turned out to be his senior brother Jiangdu. Peach blossoms drift with the wind. The atmosphere is truly extraordinary. The 2 of them also exchanged pleasantries. Why does Jiangdu want to have a battle with Hua Azure-Cloud? Just because 1 year ago, they went on a mission together. He witnessed the world-shaking sword strike by Hua Azure-Cloud with his own eyes. This made his sword technique improve significantly. Since that day, Jiangdu finally realized the huge gap between himself and the true Demon Lord. However, even so, he still wants to once again comprehend Hua Azure-Cloud's sword technique. Senior brother, I just want to go through the motions. You're making it difficult for me like this. Is the legendary hidden boss finally going to be exposed today? Just when everyone thought they could witness the true power of Hua Azure-Cloud. Unexpectedly, the strong experts from the demonic sect infiltrated and launched a siege on Azure-Cloud Sword Sect, breaking the deadlock. Jiangdu had originally intended to have a good exchange with Hua Azure-Cloud in order to comprehend sword technique and improve his strength. However, the images in the scroll of universe and land will be transmitted in real time to the outside world. Once Hua Azure-Cloud exposes his strength in front of the sect leader, it may bring unnecessary trouble. He doesn't want to add trouble to himself. Since senior brother insists on fighting, then I have to use this move to see how senior brother will respond. Jiangdu looked excited. Is junior brother finally going to be serious? Unexpectedly, Hua Azure-Cloud was surprised. Jiangdu, senior brother, what do you think that is? When Jiangdu turned to look. But it was empty. There was nothing. When he looked back again, he found that Hua Azure-Cloud had slipped away. He watched as junior brother disappeared from under his eyelids. Not only Jiangdu, but even the disciples off the court are speechless to the extreme. Although Hua Azure-Cloud's performance on the stage was a bit lacking, fleeing right before the battle is really too disgraceful. From what senior brother Jiang said, could it be that Hua Azure-Cloud has been hiding his true strength? At the same time, Jiangdu is desperately trying to catch up with Hua Azure-Cloud. How could he, who has just escaped with great difficulty, stop easily? Jiangdu, who could not bear it any longer, directly swung his sword towards Hua Azure-Cloud. But when the sword chi was about to hit Hua Azure-Cloud, he easily dodged the incoming attack with a teleportation. Junior brother, stop. You can dodge my attack, which shows your high level. So why bother running away? Who would have thought that Hua Azure-Cloud would turn the tables? How could senior brother defame me out of thin air? I have a low profile on the stage. The reason why I was able to escape is purely because of good luck. Watching Hua Azure-Cloud's poor acting, all the disciples feel embarrassed for him. I can't believe Azure-Cloud Sword Sect would have such a shameless disciple like Hua Azure-Cloud. Jiangdu's relentless pursuit also made the elders suspicious. Hua Azure-Cloud must have some secrets. These two individuals with such abnormal behavior. There must be spies from the demonic sect among them. The elders suggest having the Serene Sword activate the Scroll of Universe and land to force them into a battle. Through the fight, they aim to determine which one of them is the spy. And just as the Serene Sword was about to activate the Scroll of Universe and land, an explosion suddenly occurred in the direction of Cloud Floating Peak not far away. All the elders and disciples looked over in unison, only to see the mountain peak surrounded by demonic energy. The two spies from the demonic sect were holding jade pendants. Once they activate the formation, members of the demonic sect will soon arrive to attack the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. Afterwards, the two of them crushed the jade pendants in their hands. The earth shook and the sky cracked at once. A powerful demon chi surged straight into the clouds and frost. Then, the surrounding already full of formations were all activated, forming a huge demon formation. Even the few participants in the Scroll of Universe and Land have noticed something unusual. Hua Azure-Cloud quickly pointed behind Jiang. Do you think I will be fooled this time? Hua Azure-Cloud speculated that the demonic sect's formation flag has been activated. The sect must be in trouble. At this moment, the disciple is looking at the demon formation in the sky in a panic. The elders join forces to unleash an attack on the demon formation. Unexpectedly, everyone was repelled by the counterattack from the formation. Both spiritual power and physical attacks are ineffective. This level of strength is at least on the level of the Great Sect Protection Formation. An elder has identified this formation as the Heaven-Shrouding and Spirit-Avoiding Great Formation. It can block the spiritual power and perception between heaven and earth. It is a very strong trapping formation. It must be broken from the outside, or the formation flag must be found and destroyed in order to break it. Serene Sword quickly ordered all disciples to hurry to the 9 peaks, find the formation flag and destroy it. Who knew that at this moment, Bloodseed True Lord led the experts of the demonic sect to come. It seems that the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect is in imminent danger of being destroyed. She is the charming and domineering Bloodseed True Lord. With just one finger, she severely injured the Immortal Ascension Stage 6 layer Serene Sword. She even took away the precious treasure, the Scroll of Universe and Land, and sent experts to enter the picture to kill all the geniuses of the Azure-Cloud sect. Little do they know, there is still a hidden master in the Scroll of Universe and Land. That would be Hua Azure-Cloud, who is currently being pursued by Jiangdu. Just now, experts led by Bloodseed True Lord from the Demon Sect launched an attack on the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. Sect leader Serene Sword quickly set up a stance to prepare for the battle. The pressure of Immortal Ascension Stage 6 layer erupted. Just relying on you guys, you also want to capture our Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. Isn't that too high of an opinion of yourselves? Just at the moment of Serene Sword's full force strike, about to hit the person from Demon Sect, Bloodseed True Lord just casually mentioned a break. She effortlessly blocked the incoming attacks. The sect leader is still as domineering as ever. Unfortunately, all of you will perish here today. Moments later, she pointed her finger and heavily injured Serene Sword of Immortal Ascension Stage 6 layer, causing him to spit out blood. At this moment, Serene Sword felt something was wrong. He vaguely sensed that the power just now was divine and demonic. Divine and demonic power is the power of extreme darkness and evil from the demon domain. The demon race once invaded the Qingyun realm using divine and demonic power. After the war was quelled in those years, divine and demonic power also disappeared without a trace. Bloodseed True Lord saw that Serene Sword was seriously injured. He immediately ordered to seize the Scroll of Universe and Land. The battle between righteousness and evil has begun. With the support of the Great Formation, the elders and disciples of Azure-Cloud Sword Sect are no match. The sect's precious treasure, the Scroll of Universe and Land, was easily seized. The Scroll of Universe and Land was even eroded by the divine and demonic power. Cut off the connection with the Serene Sword. Bloodseed True Lord also issued a fierce ultimatum. Under the refinement of the heaven shrouding and spirit avoiding the Great Formation, they will be transformed into a blood essence jewel within 2 hours. You just obediently wait to become the nourishment for the demon lord that I will summon. The disciples below all showed expressions of fear. Are we really going to die here? Who can save us? At the same time, Bloodseed True Lord sent out 2 Violet Mansion Stage 9 layer Demon Sect disciples to enter the Scroll of Universe and Land. Slay all the outstanding talents of Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. At this moment, Hua Azure-Cloud in the Mystic Domain is dealing with Senior Brother Jiangdu. Senior Brother Jiang, stop fighting. Aren't you curious about why the realm just shook? Jiangdu, who has been deceived by Hua Azure-Cloud once, naturally will not believe his nonsense again. Seeing Jiangdu's stubbornness and helplessness, Hua Azure-Cloud decided to take action to subdue him. But just as he was about to make a move, he vaguely sensed that Junior Brother was approaching. It seems that he doesn't need to take action anymore. As he watched his own attack being blocked, Jiangdu looked puzzled. Who on earth is insisting on joining in the fun and disrupting their own good deeds? And the person interrupting Jiangdu is none other than the Wind Spirit Hall's chief, Wang Lan of Violet Mansion Stage 3 layer. Wang Lan stopped the fight because his cultivation of the Great Tao of Wind enables him to detect all subtle changes in energy. Just after the recent disturbance, he sensed that 2 strangers at Violet Mansion Stage 9 layer had infiltrated the Peach Blossom Land with unfamiliar spiritual power. He suspects that the sect has been attacked by the Demon Sect and infiltrated this place. This also validates Hua Azure-Cloud's conjecture just now. But Jiangdu remains firmly convinced of this. At this moment, Wan Lan took out the teleportation jade token. The sect leader's aura on the jade token had already disappeared. Our connection with the outside world should have been cut off. If you don't believe it, you can verify it yourself. Jiangdu's face darkened upon hearing this. You kid want to trick us into withdrawing from the competition, right? Hua Azure-Cloud remained calm and composed when seeing this. He took out his jade token. He crushed it in the midst of the dispute between the two. Brother, you are really serious. Sure enough, Hua Azure-Cloud was not being transmitted out. Both of them also realized that Sect was really in trouble. Before the three of them could react, a strange aura swiftly came towards them. Then it appeared in front of the three of them. And the newcomer is one of them. Qingyun, an expert from the demon sect at the 9th level of the Violet Mansion stage. He is the top expert in the sect. Even the sect leader has to consider his opinion. Today, the three great experts of the demonic sect gathered at Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. The two young geniuses from the sect joined forces to confront the enemy. However, he chose to lie flat on the side and do nothing. Fortunately, he had previously arranged a way to break the deadlock. This allowed Sect to escape the fate of destruction. Just now, in the scroll of universe and land, two members of the demonic sect sneaked in. Facing the expert of the demonic sect from Violet Mansion Stage 9 layer. Hua Azure-Cloud completely did not put him in his eyes. Qingyun also felt in front of him. This seemingly weak disciple was actually the strongest of the three. He only used the spiritual talisman to remove his attacking power. Quite skillful. He thought that Bloodsea True Lord sending him in to deal with a few small ghosts was underutilizing his abilities. So he only used 30% of his strength just now. He was afraid that the opponents would die too early, and it wouldn't be interesting. Jiangdu and Wan Lan looked serious. Using only 30% of his strength made it impossible for them to defend against it. Who are you people exactly? Why were you able to break into the scroll of universe and land Azure-Cloud Sect? What exactly happened? Qingyun told them that Azure-Cloud Sword Sect is about to be destroyed. Within 2 hours, the entire Azure-Cloud Sword Sect will be refined into a blood essence jewel by my demonic sect, completely disappearing from the world. The two were shocked for 2.5 seconds upon hearing this. Hua Azure-Cloud didn't expect that she was just a participant in a big martial arts competition, and yet her things were stolen. It's really embarrassing and a big loss. At this moment, Qingyun has already taken up a stance. Facing the expert from the demonic sect at the Violet Mansion Stage 9 layer, neither of them dared to be slack and decided to join forces against the enemy. Just saw the two of them using their respective ultimate moves. He attacked Qingyun with his sword art. Hua Azure-Cloud, on the other hand, was using spiritual talisman on the side. On the other side, Qingyun gathered spiritual chi in his right fist. Is this the talented disciple of the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect? Just SOSO. The next moment, there was a loud noise. Qingyun's attack unexpectedly crumbled. He was then surrounded by raging flames. But the attacks of the spiritual talisman still fell short. They did not cause any substantial damage to Qingyun. And Qingyun has also raised his previous 3-point strength to 5 points. Just as a fist technique descended from the sky and blasted towards Jiangdu. Fortunately, Wan Lan acted in time to push back Qingyun. This allowed Jiangdu to escape a fatal blow. Meanwhile, Hua Azure-Cloud, who was watching the battle on the side, saw the two of them exchanging blows with Qingyun. He then took out the spiritual talisman he had prepared in advance and began his performance. It turned out that Hua Azure-Cloud had already set up a backup plan in advance. He used the transmitted voice spiritual talisman to establish contact with Serene Sword outside the mystic domain. Serene Sword was relieved to learn that several people in the mystic domain were currently not in danger. The connection between me and Azure-Cloud, the scroll of universe and land, has clearly been cut off by the demonic sect. What's going on? These are just child's play for Hua Azure-Cloud. He easily evades demonic sect surveillance and serene sword communication with some tricks. Upon learning about the setup by demonic sect, heaven shrouding and spirit avoiding the Great Formation has been activated. Both the sect leader and the elders have been injured. Hua Azure-Cloud quickly informed Serene Sword that the formation flag set up by Zhao Rui at Jiufeng had been pre-arranged with sword chi that he had discovered earlier. As long as he activates the sword chi, the Great Formation will be instantly damaged. By then, they can take the opportunity to call for help. It might even be possible to fight their way out of the encirclement. As long as we are not bound by the Great Formation, we can all have a life and death battle with those evil cultivators. And Serene Sword also left a helper in the scroll of universe and land. If the situation is urgent, they just need to go to the deepest part of the Peach Blossom land. The counterattack battle is officially beginning. At the command of Hua Azure-Cloud, heaven shrouding and spirit avoiding the Great Formation shatters instantly. People from the demonic sect look bewildered at the situation with incredulous expressions on their faces. What exactly happened? How did the Great Formation get broken? The Azure-Cloud Sword Sect is gone as promised, with no one remaining. Why was one formation flag destroyed? Now that the demon formation has been broken, everyone from Azure-Cloud Sword Sect, follow me to counterattack and have a death battle with the evil cultivators. Everyone uses sword chi to transmit the message together. Demonic sect invades Azure-Cloud Sword Sect Alliance. Dawa's friend, please come to help quickly. He was originally a hidden big shot from Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. But today, he was actually treated like a noob by a little brother from the demonic sect. But soon, he was slapped in the face on the spot by Hua Azure-Cloud. Hua Azure-Cloud casually took out a talisman and trapped him in it. He didn't act like a big shot but became a creeper. This is why Hua Azure-Cloud was able to keep his identity hidden. The secret of not exposing oneself. Just now, Jiangdu took the lead and struck toward Qingyun with a sword. Who would have expected that Qingyun had no intention of dodging at all? He raised his hand and crushed the incoming sword chi. Is this your full strength attack? It's really too weak. At the same time, Wang Lan flashed behind Qingyun. He scattered several strands of his own spiritual chi and threw them toward Qingyun. He controlled the spiritual chi and firmly trapped it. Senior brother Jiang, take him down with one move now. At this moment, Jiangdu gathers all his spiritual chi on the sword. This move, Cloud Floating Sword Art, was originally intended for junior brother Hua. Today, I have to test its power on you first. Is this the strength of the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect's genius disciple? It's just SOSO. Qingyun let out a loud shout. Instantly broke free from the restraint. Even Jiangdu's attack just now was easily resolved by him. Both of them looked incredulous. Their strongest attacks were effortlessly controlled by him. They hadn't even regained their composure when the two of them were instantly captured by Qingyun. I am so disappointed with this hunting trip. I didn't expect both of you to be so useless. If that's the case, then I might as well die here. But just as Qingyun was immersed in the battle and unable to extricate himself, the appearance of Hua Azure-Cloud interrupted him. Have you forgotten that there is still someone here? Qingyun looked shocked. When did he approach? Why didn't I notice at all? Could it be because just now my attention, all attracted by these two people? But even so, he didn't care about Hua Azure-Cloud, threatening to deal with the two before it's Hua Azure-Cloud's turn. Junior brother, go quickly. Don't worry about us. Hua Azure-Cloud remained calm and said that he still had some questions to ask. This time, there should be two evil cultivators entering the scroll of universe and land. How does the strength of the other person compare to yours? As Hua Azure-Cloud suspected, there are indeed only the two of them in the scroll of universe and land. Both of them possess the strength of Violet Mansion Stage 9 layer. But the other one still lags behind compared to Qingyun. Nevertheless, even dealing with you will be more than enough. I think he has already killed off all the other disciples. After getting the answer he wanted, Hua Azure-Cloud is about to make his move. Qingyun laughed wildly. You also want to make a move against me. With just a flick of my finger, I can crush you to death. Who knew that Hua Azure-Cloud would take out a talisman and throw it at him, indicating that he was about to leave work? If that person is not as strong as you, as long as he solves Qingyun before leaving work, he can end this farce. The next second, a powerful formation trapped Qingyun in it. Qingyun was stunned. When was this formation set up? He didn't even notice it the whole time. Of course, it was set up while you were fighting with him. But in Qingyun's eyes, Hua Azure-Cloud could easily shatter the formation of Spirit Palace stage with just one punch. And he still had his two fellow disciples in his hands. Hua Azure-Cloud said there was no problem. He just snapped his fingers. The talismans previously placed on Jiangdu and Wanlan have been activated. With a swish, the two of them disappeared from under Qingyun's nose and appeared behind Hua Azure-Cloud. You silly little fool. Goodbye. Qingyun, who was humiliated, desperately used his fists to strike the formation. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't break through it. Under Qingyun's continuous attacks, he finally broke through the formation after an incense stick had burned. Damn it. He actually forced me to use all my strength. When I find you, I will definitely crush you to pieces. And the scroll of universe and land is also going through a great war. Countless casualties on both sides. People from the demonic sect thought they could easily annihilate the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect under the Great Heaven Shrouding and Spirit Avoiding formation without any effort, but they were surprised to find out that their plan had already been discovered and disrupted. If not for Bloodseed True Lord using a backup formation flag, this Heaven Shrouding and Spirit Avoiding formation would have been damaged long ago. The Hall Masters who intended to have a life-and-death battle with a demonic sect did not expect them to have a backup plan. Fortunately, they have already sought help from the Alliance. The time for refining has also changed from 2 hours to 10 hours. And Serene Sword is also placing hope in the hands of Hua Azure-Cloud. Perhaps the turning point for Azure-Cloud Sword Sect lies with Hua Azure-Cloud. She is the exceptionally talented little junior sister of Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. But today, she was unexpectedly attacked by a member of the demonic sect. The attacker who targeted her is another expert at the Violet Mansion Stage 9 layer from the demonic sect, Ming Feng. This person single-handedly destroyed an entire sect by using the treasure, the Heavenly Thunder Jade Conch in his hands. I wonder if little junior sister can escape this catastrophe. Just now, Hua Azure-Cloud successfully used the talisman to rescue Wanlan from Jiangdu. They then fled to a safe place in the center of the Peach Blossom Land. Junior brother Hua, what exactly did you just do? You were able to restrain the expert evil cultivator from the Violet Mansion Stage 9 layer. Hua Azure-Cloud hurriedly explained that those talismans were all life-saving talismans given to him by the sect leader before. Unexpectedly, they came in handy by a twist of fate. He told the two about Zhao Rui being a spy from the demonic sect. The entire Azure-Cloud Sword Sect is now trapped in the Blood Sacrifice Great Formation. They can hold on for another 10 hours. During this period, the 5 of us are the last hope of the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. At this moment, Wanlan suddenly remembered what Qingyun had said earlier. If another evil cultivator has entered the Peach Blossom Land, it would be dangerous if they meet little junior sister. Just as the two were about to search for little junior sister, they were stopped by Hua Azure-Cloud. Both of you are seriously injured. Don't even think about rescuing someone. I'm afraid you might encounter a fiend beast on the way and end up sacrificing yourselves. Your current top priority is to first recover from your injuries and spiritual power. As for Bladeheart Jr. sister's side, Qingyun mentioned that another evil cultivator's strength is far inferior to his. While Hua Azure-Cloud previously guided little junior sister in sword technique, Yu Jadeheart's current strength is enough to deal with it. But Jiangdu is still somewhat worried. Although Bladeheart Jr.'s sister is exceptionally talented, what if Qingyun joins forces with another evil cultivator? Hua Azure-Cloud, however, confidently stated that Qingyun has already been thoroughly angered by them, and will only focus on them. Presumably, he should have already broken the formation, and is now looking around to find our location. As expected, after enduring 2.5 violent breaking attempts, Qingyun finally broke free from Hua Azure-Cloud's formation. At this moment, Qingyun is furious to the extreme. He swore to find Hua Azure-Cloud to avenge today's grudge. Hua Azure-Cloud is also present at this moment. He took out the healing Dan pills to restore his spiritual power. He asked Jiangdu and himself to hurry up with the healing. They will meet up tomorrow at the hour to find Bladeheart Jr.'s sister together and save Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. The two of them don't understand why they have to wait until tomorrow to set off. Clearly, they could both recover completely within a few hours. It's all because of Hua Azure-Cloud. His rule in life is 9 to 5. It's already his quitting time. Hua Azure-Cloud knows well that the demonic sect is well prepared this time. They must have a backup plan. Although he destroyed the formation flag, he can only buy 10 hours for the sect. After 10 hours, the Great Formation will be activated. That's the best time to break through. So now their most important task is to conserve their strength and bide their time. On the other side, Yu Jade-Heart and Zhao Tianlu are currently in a match. Junior sister Yu, your sword technique has improved a lot recently. It's all thanks to senior brother Hua's help and guidance. Zhao Tianlu seriously questioned this. Hua Azure-Cloud, who has never wielded a sword, doesn't understand anything about sword technique. Yu Jade-Heart looked serious. You can question me, but you absolutely cannot question senior brother Hua's sword technique, which is much stronger than mine. At this moment, suddenly, there was a movement in the mountain stream not far away. Yu Jade-Heart immediately noticed something was amiss. At that moment, a blast of sound waves attacked the two of them. In an instant, Xiong sent the two flying several meters away. Fortunately, Yu Jade-Heart reminded in time. Zhao Tianlu covered his ears. Otherwise, they might have been deafened by this strange sound wave. Just as the two were using spiritual power to mend their injuries, the person who ambushed them emerged from the void. And this person is another expert from the demonic sect, Ming Feng. Even after taking my move, the sonic tsunami, he can still stand. Truly worthy of being a talented disciple of the Azure-Cloud Sword Sect. Both of them also sensed it. The terrifying aura emanating from Ming Feng's body. And the notorious name of Ming Feng from the Blood Sea sect, Zhao Tianlu, has long been heard of. It is because this person possesses a treasure called the Heavenly Thunder Jade Conch, which, when combined with his ancient heritage, can unleash extremely terrifying sonic attacks. He single-handedly wiped out an entire sect with this item. Ming Feng wasted no more words. He took out the Heavenly Thunder Jade Conch and unleashed another sonic wave attack. And this person is also extremely tenacious. After all, the stage gap is too big. The longer the battle lasts, the more disadvantageous it becomes. At this moment, Yu Jade-Heart suddenly burst out a terrifying aura around her. Senior brother Zhao, I have a move that might be able to severely damage this person. How terrifying is the little junior sister, who was once guided by senior brother. She unleashed her full power with a single strike and unexpectedly knocked out the expert from the demonic sect at the Violet Mansion Stage 9 layer. On the other hand, Hua Azure-Cloud, who has been coasting through by lying flat all the time. He actually summoned Profound Een to work overtime. It was all because Zhao Rui unexpectedly unlocked the seal on the ancient divine beast Lunar Tiger in the Mystic Domain. Just now, little junior sister and Zhao Tianlu encountered another expert from the demonic sect chasing after them. He is trying to buy time for Yu Jade-Heart. Zhao Tianlu keeps attacking and fighting hard. Although his understanding of the sword Dao is indeed remarkable. but he ultimately could not cause any substantial harm to Ming Feng. Ming Feng did not expect that he could last for the time it takes an incense stick to burn under the heavenly thunder jade conch in a desperate struggle. Unfortunately, ants are ants after all. In the end, they cannot escape death. Who knew that at this critical moment, a sword chi actually repelled the sound waves? Ming Feng's face changed drastically. He then realized that one person was missing. Thank you, senior brother Zhao, for buying me some time. Next, I will try my strongest move now. A huge long sword condensed from spiritual power appeared, slashing towards Ming Feng. And this is the sword move you Jade Heart comprehended from the Sword Scar tablet. It is called Azure-Cloud Sword Art Falling Star. Ming Feng was furious. As a formidable expert at the Violet Mansion Stage 9 layer, he was unexpectedly provoked and attacked repeatedly. He then used the Heavenly Thunder Jade conch in his hand to defend himself. The two powerful spiritual powers kept colliding, and neither could gain the upper hand. Yu Jadeheart kept her eyes closed tightly, looking calm. She believed that the sword art she comprehended from senior brother Hua's swordmark stone tablet would not disappoint her. The moment she opened her eyes. Just now, that powerful sword intent unexpectedly split into countless long swords. The sword chi directly destroyed Ming Feng's attack. The dense sword intent cut through the sky. Yu Jadeheart was extremely weak from gathering spiritual power just now. If it weren't for senior brother Hua's guidance, she might have perished this time. Zhao Tianlu was greatly shocked when he saw the sword intent attack by little junior sister. He was surprised to find an extreme sword intent contained within the remaining sword chi. Even if he tried his best, he is still not a match. On the other side is Peach Blossom Spring. A tiger's roar echoed throughout the entire mystic domain. It is rumored that in ancient times, for divine beasts ravaged the eastern wasteland. The ancestor of Azure-Cloud Sword Sect defeated the 4 divine beasts and sealed them into the scroll of universe and land. It is called the Sun-Long Starling Chrono Martial. The one sealed to the south of the Peach Blossom Land is the Lunar Tiger. After Zhao Rui entered the mystic domain, he then unsealed the Lunar Tiger. He asked the Lunar Tiger to join forces under the Demon Lord's command. How can a mere Demon Lord command an ancient divine beast? Just as the Lunar Tiger was about to kill Zhao Rui shouted, "The Demon Lord promised. If the senior is willing to help, the demonic sect will reveal the whereabouts of the demon-encrusted spirit Jade to the senior." When they learned that the demonic sect actually knew the whereabouts of the demon-encrusted spirit Jade, the Lunar Tiger stopped its massive tiger claws. "In that case, I will accompany you on this journey." Hua Azure-Cloud, who was resting at the same time, noticed the anomaly just now. Sure enough, as sect leader said, Zhao Rui unsealed the divine beast. Even though he was very unwilling to take action. But in order to maintain a stable life in the sect for the rest of his years, living a routine 9-to-5 life, he had no choice but to take action. In response to Hua Azure-Cloud's summon, Profound Een immediately appeared. Where is the promised help? It seems that the heavy responsibility will be handed over to Profound Een. Indeed, it is impossible to make him work overtime. So this time, the crisis of Azure-Cloud Sword Sect will depend on you. Don't worry. I will ask for time off from the sect leader on your behalf later. Later, Hua Azure-Cloud quietly informed Profound Een of his deployment. The two of them quickly reached an agreement and started their action. Poor Profound Een ended up working for the sake of laborers. They even have to work overtime late at night. And free from the formation, Qingyun is now searching everywhere for clues about Hua Azure-Cloud. He is determined to quickly avenge the past by finding the whereabouts of those few people. He had no choice but to use forbidden techniques for the search. He couldn't help but think of Hua Azure-Cloud's confident expression. He couldn't wait to crush him under his feet. He searched for a long time before finally discovering their whereabouts. Tonight,